Hi guys, welcome. If you're new to my channel, my name is Carmen. Welcome. So I did a video last week about the numerology behind this virus. So there's a lot of conspiracy theories going around about this virus right now, and I wanted to make this video today to look at some of these conspiracy theories because numerology reveals if any of these are true and why exactly there are so many conspiracy theories coming out right now about this virus. And so there's still a lot of fear and there's still a lot of panic going on out there. A lot of people are still worried about what is happening right now. Some of you have expressed to me that you are still concerned and you are worried about the future of the virus and what is going to happen. So we will be talking more about that as well in this video today, because numerology also reveals the true purpose and meaning of this virus, and it also reveals the future of this virus today in this video. So stick around after the analysis is over, because I'm also going to be giving you some more spiritual guidance to help guide you during this difficult time. So the two names used to refer to this virus are COVID-19 and coronavirus. Let's go over the COVID-19 name first. And the expression number in numerology is basically the number that determines the way the world sees you, and it's how you express yourself to the world. So this number is going to determine the way the world sees this virus. So for the COVID-19 name, the expression number is a number 9. And the way I got that is we are going to use the Pythagorean number system. As you can see, every single letter in our alphabet corresponds to a number. So A corresponds to number 1, B corresponds to number 2, and so on. And we're just going to find the corresponding number for each letter in this name and add all of those together. We're going to add all of these numbers together until we get a single digit. And once I did that, I got a 9. And let's take a look at what 9 means in numerology. And as you can see, 9 represents endings in numerology because it is the very last number. And so it typically represents endings and finality. And it also represents humanity because 1 is the number of the individual, 9 is the last number, so it represents everybody. So basically what that means is that for this first name, COVID-19, it's expressing itself to the world as an ending, some sort of ending in our world. And that's the way we see it. So now let's take a look at the expression number for the name coronavirus. So we did the exact same thing as we did before, looked up the corresponding numbers to each one of the letters using the Pythagorean number system, and then I took every single one of those numbers and added them together, and the number I ended up with was an 11. And an 11 is a master number in numerology. We do not add the two numbers together because the master numbers are special, and we do not add the 2 digits together. So master number 11 represents bringing illumination and inspiration to great numbers of people. It's also a very spiritual number, and if you look at the number 11, it kind of looks like a doorway. So what that means is that it represents a doorway, which is a gateway into the spiritual world and into a new reality and into a new world that is beyond this third dimensional world that we currently live in. And that is also kind of the way we see this virus. We see that this virus has taken us into a new world and into a new reality that we are not familiar with. This is a new world that nobody has experienced before. We are not used to staying home and we are not used to not having contact with each other. So people feel isolated because of this virus, and a lot of people are losing their jobs. So we do feel like we have been taken into a new world that we are not familiar with. So when you put these two numbers together for both of the names of this virus, you get 9/11. And so basically we see this virus as kind of being like another 9/11 because the expression number is the way you see something. And this is true for this virus. Certainly for people living in the United States, we do definitely see this as kind of being like another 9/11. Now, if you are not from the United States and you don't know anything about 9/11, 9/11 for people living in the US felt like it was the ending of our world. It kind of felt like the ending of the old way of living, and pretty much we kind of felt like everything changed after that, and we felt like we were entering a new world and a new reality that was completely different than the reality before 9/11 happened. It felt like we entered a world where we had to worry that a terrorist attack could happen at any time. The world sees this virus as being like another 9/11, where they feel like their old world and old way of living has come to an end, and that they have entered a new reality and a new world that they are not familiar with, which is represented by the 9 and the 11. But the world sees this as kind of being like a 9/11 on a global scale that is affecting the whole entire world. But now a virus is the threat instead of a terrorist attack. But guys, I just want to reiterate that this is just the way the world sees the virus. This is not actually the true purpose and meaning of the virus. This is just the way we see it. And so this explains why there are so many conspiracy theories coming out about this virus right now. Because after 9/11 happened, there were many conspiracy theories that came out after 9/11. And still to this day, almost 20 years later, there are new conspiracy theories coming out about 9/11 constantly. And so because the world sees this virus as being another 9/11, an ending of our old way of life, and a gateway into a new world and a new reality that we are not familiar with, then there are conspiracy theories that are coming out about this virus as well. And there will be conspiracy theories that will continue to come out for the next 20, 30, 40 years to come. Because that's what happened after 9/11, and the world sees this as being a global 9/11. So it makes sense that conspiracy theories are going to come out about this virus. And so keep that in mind when you hear the next conspiracy theory that comes out. Does that mean that these conspiracy theories are true? Most of these conspiracy theories are probably not true. Now, anything is possible, but the likelihood that these conspiracy theories are true is very low. A lot of these conspiracy theories are coming out to put fear into people's minds because people are afraid right now. People are afraid. We see this as another global 9/11, and people see this as the ending of their world. So there's a lot of fear, and I've heard a lot of crazy conspiracy theories. I heard one that this is being used to implement martial law all over the world. I heard one that Bill Gates created the virus in order to make millions of dollars off of a vaccine for the virus. So there's going to be a lot of these that are going to come out. And that's what happened with 9/11. Were all of those conspiracy theories that came out about 9/11 true? Most of them were not true. Just keep that in mind as these start to come out. Now let's take a look at the real reason this virus is happening right now. So the soul's urge number in numerology is basically your soul's purpose for being here, and it is also typically what makes you happy. And so this number is going to determine what the purpose of this virus is. And so for this, we have to add all of the vowels together in the full birth name. So we're going to look at that same number chart that we did before. And using that same number chart, we're going to find all of the numbers that correspond to only the vowels in this name. So not all of the letters, only the vowels. And we add all of those numbers together, and that gave us a number 7. So let's take a look at what number 7 means. So as you can see, number 7 represents introspection and going within, spirituality, and solitude. So basically what that means is that the purpose of this virus is to bring us into isolation and to bring us into solitude so that we will go within and tune out the rest of the world so that we will do some introspection. And basically what that means is really getting to know yourself on a deeper level, getting to know who you are. What is it within you that needs healing? What is it within you that needs to be fixed? And you can't work on yourself if you have a million distractions going on and, if you're living a fast-paced life. This is the year of 20/20 vision, and you can't have 20/20 vision if you don't know yourself and what you need to work on because you've been distracted by all of the distractions of the world. And so one of the purposes of this virus is to put an end to that, to slow down our way of life, to bring us into isolation so that we will be forced to go within and really fix ourselves and learn about ourselves on a deeper level. And in the process of doing that, a lot of people are going to be having spiritual awakenings. Because 7 is also a very spiritual number, and 7 is a spiritual teacher. So this virus is a spiritual teacher to everybody. This virus is teaching us something about ourselves. It is helping us to really get to know ourselves. And in that process, we will have spiritual awakenings, and we will start to realize what is real and what is not. What have we been putting our focus on that really doesn't matter in life? So there's a lot of people out there that focus on material things in life. They focus on image and ego. What do I look like on social media? How much money do I make? What do I need to do to impress my friends and to impress the people that follow me on Instagram? What do I need to do to get more followers? How do I need to dress? What do I need to wear? People are so obsessed with image and ego and materialism in our world. That's another thing about number 7. It's a very non-materialistic number. So 7 is the number of intellectualism, and it's the number of spirituality. It's not a materialistic number. And so that's another purpose of this virus, is to end some of this obsession with materialism and superficial activities that we currently see in our society. This virus is a spiritual teacher. It is ending that old world, that old way of being, and it is bringing us into a new reality and into a new world that we are not familiar with. It is actually bringing us into a new world, but this new reality that we are being brought into is going to be better than the world that we currently live in. So yes, this is kind of like another 9/11, where the old world is ending and we are being brought into a new reality and a new world. But it's the ending of an old world that doesn't work anymore, that isn't current anymore for the new earth that's being created. And we are being brought into an even better reality and a better world than we currently live in. And people don't realize that. This is an upgrade. We are currently being upgraded right now. And so once we do isolate ourselves and do all of that introspection and inner work, this virus will go away because it will have served its purpose and we will have made it happy. And people will become more spiritual and more compassionate and caring after all of this isolation comes to an end. So I don't know if you know about this, but there is a mass ascension going on the planet right now. So a lot of people are having spiritual awakenings and starting to see that a lot of these ego-based things that we put our attention on are not really real and they are not really that important. If you were attracted to this video or to this channel, then you are probably one of the people that is currently having a spiritual awakening right now, or you are going to be one of those people in the near future that will start to have a spiritual awakening. Because this is a year when that is going to start to happen, where the great mass ascension of the planet is going to happen, and we're going to see mass spiritual awakenings happening everywhere. And so basically, this virus is kind of like the catalyst for that happening. So there's been a lot of people that have started to wake up and start to see reality for what it really is, that we are living in a third dimensional kind of world and way of thinking that is more ego-based and based in superficial things such as materialism. But this virus is the catalyst to jumpstart that. And you're going to see huge numbers, like mass numbers of people starting to wake up and realize that, there is a spiritual world out there. There's this whole spiritual realm that, we cannot see this world, but it's there. It's with us. This spiritual world that is more love-based and not ego-based and based in materialism, like our third dimensional world that we live in, this spiritual world is the fifth dimension. And so we are being upgraded out of the third dimension more into this fifth dimensional way of being. And I actually did a whole video on this, and I never posted it. But I think I will go ahead and post that next week. So you can stay tuned for that, about this great spiritual awakening that is currently happening right now. So it might not seem like this virus has any good to it, and it might seem like horrible things are happening, and a lot of bad things are happening. People are losing their jobs and innocent people are dying. But there is a purpose to this, and we are going to enter a time when people are more connected to God, more connected to spirit, and less materialistic and less ego-based and more love-based. People are going to start to have more compassion for each other. That's part of the spiritual awakening, where we start to realize that we are all connected to each other and that we are all one. And people will start to care more about each other and start to love each other more. And so that's another reason this is happening. But that cannot happen unless we are put into isolation and we are distanced from each other. And fear is put into us about each other. Because when this is all said and done, we will come out of this and we will appreciate each other and we will start to love each other more, and we will have more understanding about ourselves and the world around us and what really is important in this world versus the materialism and the ego-based things that we have been putting our focus and attention on that really don't matter. And people are going to start to realize that. They're going to start to realize what really does matter in this world. And that's going to be because of this virus. This virus is the catalyst for that happening. And so we are being upgraded right now, guys. It doesn't seem like we are, but we are being upgraded. We are being put onto a new level. Our vibration is being raised. And a new earth is currently being created right now. And so all of us are getting upgraded so that we will be able to live on this new earth that is being created. And we will start to see this change happen over the next 20, 30, 40 years, where the old world and the old way of being is gone, and the new earth and the new way of being is here. And people are more love-based and less materialistic and more spiritually connected to God and source energy. So when you hear these conspiracy theories, always remember that that's a third dimensional way of thinking. It doesn't matter if they're true or if they're not true, because the real reason this virus is happening is to bring us into a new reality and a new world that is better than the one we are living in. It might not seem like that right now because people are really worried, because people are very uncertain. People are very uncertain, first of all, about if they're going to get the virus, or if any of their loved ones are going to get the virus, and if they do, what will happen to them if that happens. So you have worry on both ends. You have worry about the virus itself, and you also have worry about economics and the economy and jobs and how people are going to pay the bills and things like that. And so everybody is worried, and there's a lot of panic going on right now. But keep in mind that now you know the real reason why this is happening, and that we are being upgraded. And as Pablo Picasso once said, every act of creation is first an act of destruction. It might seem like things are being destroyed, but that's the old earth and the old way of being that's being destroyed. And it's being removed and taken away so that a new earth and a new way of being can come through. And so that is kind of the whole purpose of this. This is the catalyst for that to happen. You are probably one of the people that chose to come down during this time to kind of help with the process. That's what a light worker is, somebody who carries light within them and is here to help everybody else transition over into this new world and this new reality that is being created right now. And yes, this virus is something to be taken seriously, and we need to continue to follow the guidelines that are set forth by our governments, whatever countries we come from. But at the same time, while we are following those health guidelines, we also need to remain calm and be a strong presence for everybody else, and to lead by example, and to lead with our calm, strong demeanors, because that's contagious. When other people see that you are calm and you are completely under control because you have a knowing of why this is all happening, when people see that, they want to become like that, and it eases their minds and it eases their fears. When they see that you're being calm, then their panic starts to go away. And so we need to continue to do that and lead by example and show people that there is nothing to be scared of, and that yes, we need to take this seriously, but we also need to see the bigger picture. So let's lead as light workers as an example, lead with love and lead with light, and Try to be kind to other people. And it is also important to not give into the fear and not to give into the panic that we see all around us and the chaos that we are seeing all around us, because that drops your vibration. So we all have a frequency and a vibration that we are giving off. And when you start to panic and when you start to fear things, your vibration drops. And your immune system can become more compromised when that happens. So we want to keep our vibrations as high as possible. We want to be vibrating at a level that is as high as possible so that we can keep our immune system strong and we can continue to spread the light and to help other people as much as we can during this time. And you can do that by remaining grounded and focused in the knowledge that you know why this is happening now and that this is all happening for the betterment of our world, and that there is going to be good that will come out of this. And remember, with every single event that has happened before in the past, we have always gotten through it, and we have always gotten through it together, and we will do that again. We will pull through together, and we will get through this together, because we are all going through this at the same time. Everybody is in the same boat, and we will pull through this. We will get through this together, because we always do. And so I want you to let me know in the comments below what kind of conspiracies you have heard so far, and if you believe any of these are actually true. Let me know what kind of conspiracies you've heard so far. And also let me know, what are you experiencing where you live, in your part of the world? What are you seeing? Are you seeing panic? Are you seeing fear? Are you seeing chaos? Or are you seeing people working together during this time and helping each other out and banding together? What are you experiencing where you live? People are still worried where I live here in Los Angeles. But let me know what is happening where you live, and if you're experiencing any of this yourself. Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to check out my services, I will leave the information to that below. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with as many people as you think would benefit from it. And I would love to have you subscribe and follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video today. I am sending you light and love. Take care.